We have new champions, and it's on the SPFL review show. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football. Last week, we crowned Dunfermline as the Scottish League One champs. This week, we crown Stirling Albion as the Scottish League Two champs. And what does that tell me? That tells me that there's at least two teams in Scotland that are better than Celtic. You got anything to say about that?
That's a fair enough statement. I'm all for that statement. They're both going to go on to do 10 in a row, aren't they? Can't wait for it.
Well, probably not, because they're going up to higher divisions where they'll get tanked. But
I don't know. I have faith in Stirling and Dunfermline. I have a lot of faith. But you know what? Stirling Albion, fair play to them. They got the job done. They won in style. They beat an Athletic, Dumbarton. They won to keep it relatively in there. But guess what? It didn't matter. It was in vain. It was in hee-haw because Stirling won.
Stirling Albion kind of came from nowhere, I think, to wrap up this League Two title. Looked like Dumbarton in the early part. I think they were considered favourites. Then they took the lead through the start of the season. And I just don't think anyone was really predicting Stirling Albion. Be interesting to see where we had them in our predictions. But
I know I had, but I don't think we actually predicted the league table, did we?
I think we did. I'm pretty sure I gave Dumbarton. I had Dumbarton first, Forfar second. So
I had Bonnyrigg Rose first.
Yeah, I didn't have Stirling Albion winning it, but fair play to them, they did. Albion Rovers kept their pyramid hopes alive, their pyramid salvation hopes. They can maybe stay in the league now. They've got a 3-1 win over Stenhousemuir. Had they lost today, it would have been looking pretty grim for them, but who knows? That victory could go a long, long way in keeping them in the fourth flight of Scottish football, the flight that matters, you know?
The fourth flight of stairs.
The fourth flight of stairs.
And then the rest is just a ladder.
The rest of the fucking basement, mate. Dumbarton beat East Fife by 1-0. Forfar got beat by Bonnyrigg Rose. That's a good result for Bonnyrigg Rose. I think they needed that as well.
Bonnyrigg.
With Stirling Albion, like we said, wrapping up the title in fashion with a 3-1 win over Annan Athletic. And Stranraer defeated Elgin City by 3
Well, the boys in Stranraer,
goals to 1. So that means now with 2 games left in the Scottish League Championship, League 2, Stirling Albion can no longer be caught. They obviously win the title, but it's still all to play for, especially for that last playoff spot. East Fife, Forfar Athletic and Stenhousemuir all battling it out for 4th place. Although Annan Athletic can still be caught, you feel like one win will guarantee them, well, essentially. So yeah, all Annan Athletic needs one win.
One win.
But yeah, Stenhousemuir, Forfar, and East Fife still all in with a shout. Stranraer got a win, but it wasn't enough. They're now 6 points behind East Fife, with the goal difference not in their favour. It's very, very unlikely that Stranraer can stay in the league. And again,
no, Stranraer are going to stay in the league.
No, I mean move up the league, get into the playoffs. And Albion Rovers with a big win, but it did not help them that Bonnyrigg Rose also won. So Albion Rovers could have pulled themselves out of the relegation zone. They were probably not counting on Bonnyrigg Rose, though, to win in the same week. And if you actually look at the table, Stranraer could still technically go down. So that could actually prove to be a big win for Stranraer.
Absolutely.
We're talking about how it doesn't look like they can no longer get into the playoffs, but
that's not really what they're going for.
That win could have just saved them from relegation. So, interesting battle down to the end. I think you would assume that Stranraer are safe, though. For the reason being is Albion Rovers would need to win their last 2 games. And it's just unlikely that a team, or even Elgin City, would need to win their last 2 games to overtake Stranraer. I think it's just unlikely that 2 teams that are down the bottom of the table that haven't been winning that many games are all of a sudden going to win the last 2 games. I think Stranraer will be safe. As for the other 3 teams, very interesting, and it could depend on who's playing who.
Literally, and it's interesting to see.
Although, what I would say about this League 2 is, I feel like everybody could beat everybody. It's not like the Championship in like League 1 where there's
certainly not like the Premiership.
There's a big gulf. In League 2, I don't think there's that much of a difference between the teams near the top and the teams near the bottom.
And that shows you with the wins. I mean, because if you look, Forfar and Fifth have only got 2 more wins than Albion Rovers.
Whereas
if
you look at the next league table, you know, the teams at the bottom are really struggling in that, and that's what we'll move on to next. So
we've got League 1.
No, we don't. It's League 2. There it is, League 1. Airdrie got a draw against Dunfermline. I predicted Airdrie to win. Didn't quite get the victory, but here they got a point, so it's not too bad. Falkirk with a big win.
Realistically, see, looking at these results, I think everything apart from Queen of the South getting beat, I would have went for.
Aye.
Airdrie in good form. Dunfermline just won the league, so be laying low. Falkirk to win. Edinburgh, Kelly Hearts draw. Peterhead, Clyde draw. But Queen of the South let the side down. Montrose with an absolute comeback, man. The Queen of the South went up twice. Montrose pulled it back. They did lose about 10 men. Queen of the South, but is what it is. Clyde, crucially, got an 87th minute equaliser, which absolutely basically confirms Peterhead going to League Two. And great result for Airdrie. In terms of recent form, I think it's like the last 10 games, they would sit top of League One, which is very good for them. Airdrie.
It is, especially considering how good Dunfermline have been, so that is impressive. The Airdrieonians.
It is. And as we look at the league table, what does it say for Peterhead? Drum roll, please. We're humped.
Yeah, they are humped, let's be honest. Clyde only need a point to stay up. For Clyde to go down, they would need to lose their last two games, and they would need Peterhead to win their last two games. And for a team to win their last two games when they've only won 3 out of 34, very, very unlikely. Now, had Peterhead have won, don't get me wrong, I still think Clyde would have been massive favourites, but it would have made it a hell of a lot more interesting.
Yeah, it literally just would have been here. If Peterhead win one game and they lose 2 games, that's it.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Rather than Peterhead, no chance.
I think Peterhead are doing.
Be interesting though if they win the next game. Then it's like a 1-game shootout.
Assuming Clyde don't win, but we'll have to see what happens there. Queen of the South, I mean, had a chance of getting into the playoffs, but surely after that upset against Montrose, even though that takes Montrose above them, was it really an upset? But still, that kind of rules out Queen of the South now of getting a top 4 spot, and yeah, I don't see anything else changing. Well, nothing else can change, really. Dunfermline, Falkirk, Airdrie are... I mean, Alloa could catch Airdrie, but again, I think that's unlikely. FC Edinburgh now have played an extra game. Their chances of beating Alloa into that playoff spot, highly unlikely. They would need to win, and then Alloa would need to lose both games. So, I mean, yeah, there's still a couple of things to play for, but...
The league's basically done.
Yeah, I think the main thing is probably... The biggest thing to decide here is, can Alloa catch Airdrie? That's probably it.
Yeah. Because Edinburgh's not really going to beat Alloa.
Yeah, maybe Montrose or Queen of the South could get ahead of Edinburgh, but I don't see anyone realistically getting into those playoff spots.
So League One is dead, but it's time to move on to a league that's very much alive. We've got the Championship. We did have 0-0 between Queen's Park and Ayr United. Watch that reviews on the channel. Absolutely dire game, but you know what? A point apiece was probably the right result, but it didn't really do any favours for Queen's Park because Dundee are just a wee bit ahead of them, and they drew 1 each with Inverness. Again, Inverness could have banged themselves right into contention, but I think the draw rules them out.
Yeah, had Inverness won this game, they would have been right up there for the league title. I also feel like Partick Thistle done themselves no favours. Partick Thistle could have won and honestly got themselves right into a title picture as well, but now with these results, I think it is going to come down to Dundee versus Queen's Park, and Queen's Park do play Dundee on the last day, so if Queen's Park can win their next game, then they might be able to take it to the last match, but yeah, I think it's Dundee's to lose.
But all Queen's Park have got to do is match Dundee's results.
And then beat them on the...
Yeah. That's it.
I mean, could happen, but
yeah, I mean, you could be looking at a situation where Queen's Park win the next game, Dundee draw, Queen's Park don't even need to win.
Could do. And what about Cove Rangers? Basically, everyone thought they were down. No one was giving them a chance.
I know. Massive
and
result.
They have Paul Hartley's Cove Rangers of... Is it Paul Hartley?
Yes.
Anyway, they're getting themselves...
Wait, I think he manages Arbroath.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he manages Cove Rangers.
I've seen him in an Arbroath tracksuit.
Oh, okay. Maybe the Cove Rangers didn't have a size and you had to stick an Arbroath on it.
I just plucked out of thin air. I don't know, but I tell you what, see, trying to get a bet up on Saturday, it was impossible.
Nah, it wasn't looking too good. But let's look at the league table. That's what does look good. That's what is interesting to look at. So, yeah, with 2 games remaining now, Inverness, Caledonia and Thistle, they can no longer win the league. Had Partick a won, they would have been on 55. It would have been possible. I mean, had Inverness beat Dundee, they would have been on 57 and Dundee would have stayed on 58. And I get it, they would have still had played a game more, but with Dundee playing Queen's Park in the final day. That would have really opened things up. I feel like Inverness have kind of screwed us. Inverness and Partick Thistle, the two results this week have kind of screwed us out of a really close finish.
Yeah, no, literally.
But, I mean, let's look at what is close. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. I mean, Inverness look like they have the advantage. Yeah, they've got the points advantage, but they've also played an extra game. I don't know what the fixtures are looking like heading into the next round, but I mean, if Greenock, Morton, Ayr United, and Partick Thistle can all pick up wins, look how close that's going to be going into the final day.
I know, it'd be absolutely insane.
It's incredibly close. And Cove Rangers giving themselves now a real chance of staying up. That win takes them level now with Hamilton Academical, and they have a game in hand over Hamilton as well. So we thought over the last couple of weeks Hamilton and Arbroath had done enough. I still think Arbroath probably have done enough because they've got the better goal difference and they're 3 points ahead. So realistically, for Arbroath to go down, I mean, you probably need Cove Rangers to get 4 points and for Arbroath to get 0 for Cove to overtake them.
Yeah, and Hamilton
Can't really overtake them.
Yeah, unless it's an absolute mammoth
victory. So it looks like Arbroath are kind of guaranteed, at worst, the playoff relegation spot. But I mean, Hamilton are in real trouble. And I think what could save Hamilton is the goal difference.
Yeah, it could, because Cove Rangers, realistically, if they get beat, they're not going to do a whole 4 gimmick.
But Cove Rangers could be looking at it, that all they need to maybe do is pick up a point. 1 point could keep Cove Rangers in the league. It could get them into 9th spot. Depends on who's playing who. Let's have a quick look, actually, what these fixtures are for the
fixtures.
For the next,
go ahead and look, big man.
For the next round. No, that doesn't really help Cove.
No, it really doesn't help Cove. The hardest fucking place to go. Queen's Park.
Arbroath, though, doesn't really help them.
Nope, but there we go. The last fixtures, the 5th of May, Friday.
Oh, Arbroath versus Hamilton.
Oh,
but Hamilton have
Cove Rangers at home though.
Ooh, but then again, that doesn't really benefit Cove either, because, like we said, Arbroath are kind of safe, and Cove would not want their relegation rivals Hamilton to be playing Arbroath. That's probably the last team they'd want them to play.
Is there any tickets for the Queen's Park Dundee game?
I don't know, but how sick would it be if you actually got yourself tickets and then the title was decided on match day 35? Be a bit shit, wouldn't it? Bit lackluster. You find yourselves at Queen's Park.
It's all about the experience, mate.
The game's dead. But yeah, so there's the fixtures, and I mean, yeah, it's going to be close, guys. It's going to be very close. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Back to the leagues. Premiership, let's go.
Premiership, aye, let's go, boom.
Hearts of Midlothian, your team. Lovely job, late.
Aye, great win.
Jelly babies.
About time. After 6 defeats in a row, Hearts put 6 past Ross County. I actually predicted a 1-1 draw for this game, so I was wrong.
I'll tell you what, right? I think Hearts put the foot off the gas. I think it could have been about 14-0.
Yeah, I'm a bit disappointed, actually. It's not often you'll get an opportunity to actually hammer a team. And I think Hearts, realistically, were in a really good chance of beating Celtic's 9-0 against Dundee United.
I tell you what, Oda, when they had that confusion with the goalie to make it 7, if that goes in, maybe they do score like 12.
I thought Oda looked pretty good as well. That's the first time we've really seen him get a real run out. Like, normally when he comes on, he's lucky if he gets like a quick substitute appearance.
Were Hearts good or were Ross County awful?
Probably a bit of both.
Yeah. You know what, I had a lot of faith in Ross County staying up, but after this...
Well, now they find themselves cut adrift at the bottom of the table, so it's not looking good for Ross County. Another team that's not looking good for is Celtic now. They are in real danger of letting the title slip. Said absolutely nobody alive on this earth.
We don't let these sleep now.
They may have dropped points, but let's be honest, the only people thinking Celtic's going to lose the title were people that were dropped on their heads. It's not happening. Celtic will win this league title, and it could well happen in the next fixture due to a certain result that happened on Sunday around tea time. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, Celtic now 1 win away from retaining their league title and 1 win away from making it, what's that, 4 titles out of possible 5? I mean, that's not, and he could potentially make it 5 out of 6 come the end of the season. I mean, it's not bad for a guy that came into a team that was supposedly going through a massive rebuild and realistically wouldn't have had a shot at the title for the next couple of years. So the guy's done a good job. Like, I've always praised him. He might be fat, but he's a good manager. I can't take it away from him.
And he's top man. He's top drawer. He's brand new.
But let's give Stuart Kettlewell some credit as well, and Kevin Fanfeen.
Nice. Greg Taylor's pish.
I mean, all we ever hear now is how good Greg Taylor is. Greg Taylor, so undeserved that he's not in the Scotland team, blah, blah, blah. Fanfeen made him look like a muppet. And Kevin Fanfeen, I mean, how good can this guy be? I mean, if he's looking for a transfer, if he stays in Scotland, I mean, what kind of level can he go to? I've seen rumours that Hearts are interested in Kevin Fanfeen. I would certainly take Fanfeen. I think if you had Fanfeen and Shankland as your two striking options, I mean, that would be absolutely... I mean, for a team like Hearts, I think that'd be quality to have those two as options, among others, of course. But yeah,
it would be. But would he take going to Hearts to be like second fiddle? I think he'd take being second fiddle at Celtic or Rangers, like. But
would he be second fiddle though?
He might not be. What Hearts or
Aye.
Rangers or I don't know. Rangers are pretty shite. Like, I think Fanfeen would have took a couple of those chances away today.
Well, Fanfeen, he can't. Fanfeen would probably be the best finisher at Ibrox.
Yeah.
So I mean,
but Cholak, brother, testify. Cholak's pish. Sorry to burst everyone's bubble.
But yeah, a bad performance for Celtic. Let's be honest.
No, it was awful. Probably should have lost in there.
I thought Motherwell did pretty well today. Even the goal Celtic got was very lucky.
No, but see the goal Kevin Fanfeen scored. That's his signature. Down the wing, bit of skill, a wee bit of trickery, a bit of muscle, and then just smashes it home. He did the same at Ibrox, but it was offside.
Well, we'll see what he can do in the bottom six split. I think Motherwell will win the majority of their games.
Aye.
At the moment,
you know
the way
what?
they're playing.
Motherwell will probably finish on points. 5th.
Yeah, I could see Motherwell finishing
Obviously
with enough
not
points.
5th,
Yeah. But I see Motherwell winning the majority of their last 5 matches. So, yeah, big point there for Motherwell. And it is Celtic's first points dropped at home this season. So, yeah, disappointing for them. But big result for Motherwell. And I feel sorry for Motherwell because if there was a couple more games left, then I genuinely believe that they would have made the top 6. If there was no top 6, I mean, Motherwell would be in with a chance of a European spot. It's just unfortunate for them that the split comes at the wrong time.
Caught me a team though in with no chance of a European spot. Livy, for the second year in a row, they've lost it in the last day.
Yeah, I don't think they lost it today on the last day. I think they lost it over the last couple of months.
We can talk about Hearts being bad, but Livy were like right behind Hearts. Hearts have went off the boil and Livy have
The gap's actually got bigger, so I mean that kind of tells you what's happened to Livy. I mean, at one point, Livy were the only team that you thought realistically would challenge Hearts for 3rd place. And whatever happened, they didn't even get top 6. So, yeah, Livy, as a club, can they really afford this? No. I mean, they can't keep getting into these good positions where they're looking like they're going to finish top 6 and then throwing it away. They just cannot do that. I'm telling you they can't do it. I'm sure Davy Martindale is telling them they can't do it either.
Livy does what Livy does, man.
Livy does what Livy does. Where's Livy Dave? I've never seen Livy Dave now.
Livy Dave 89.
Holla, if you hear me.
Down.
But yeah, Dundee United again. Jim Goodwin. I think this guy is underrated. I think he was given a hard time at Aberdeen. People were forgetting the guy was 3rd when they went into the World Cup. His first couple of games back for the World Cup, I mean, Celtic and Rangers, he almost got 4 points out of 6. That was the turning point of Aberdeen's season.
Absolutely.
And I wonder what would have happened though if they held on against Rangers. I wonder what would have happened if they got that point against Celtic.
Tell you what,
Barry Robson would have happened.
Beale's arse would have went like.
So I'm glad to see Jim Goodwin get an opportunity here, and I would say Dundee United's safe now.
Yeah.
Out of the teams that are in this so-called relegation battle, for me, United are probably the safest.
No, they are. They've turned on the class.
Plus, I just think I just think squad-wise, they've probably got out of the teams at the bottom.
Stephen Fletcher scoring the game.
I mean, they do have the best squad. Like, I think in midfield, they've got creativity. You've got Levitt, like McGrath and all that. I just think they've got the better team compared to those out and around them. So yeah, big win for Dundee United, and it's good to see Jim Goodwin actually have a wee bit of success after him having to walk across the Easter Road pitch, because that was sad. That was bad times.
It was a tragic day for Jim Goodwin. But talking Easter Road, we weren't there. The Hibs were at Perth, and it was 1-1. How the fuck was it a red to Jago? Wins the ball. You seen it? The red. How was it a red?
Possibly the worst red card I've ever seen. Now, I'm assuming there will be worse red cards because it's football and
No, it's funny though, right?
you get bad
See,
decisions.
before VAR, you could accept it. The ref might have seen it and he was like, fuck, that looked bad. But see, with VAR, there's no excuse now.
I'm actually going to disagree. I think before VAR, you never got decisions as bad. Now, I know you could argue the ref gave him a red without really checking VAR, but
I agree with that. But I'm saying
I think now that referees are just getting sloppy now because there's VAR. I think sometimes they're just making up their fucking
and
decisions.
because it ain't a clear and obvious, that's why they're not overturning it.
I don't remember seeing decisions this bad without VAR. I mean, this is shocking. You talk about winning the fucking ball. He clearly wins the ball, then about 2 seconds later, you know what I mean, he follows through into the other guy, and it's fucking football, it's a physical sport.
No, the thing is, you'd actually be better not winning the ball if it means your opponent's going to make contact and you can get him sent off. That's what it's almost getting to.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
How the fuck's that right?
And that could have cost Hibs a spot in the top 6. Luckily for Hibs, they didn't need to win because Livingston bottled it against Dundee United.
As well, it's the players rolling about in the play acting, man. See if they just fucking got on with it. They wouldn't even bother looking at it.
See, as much as we say women's football's pish, and it is very pish, the standard is bog awful, right? It's toilet level, sewer level standard. At least, in fairness to the women, they don't play act. It's fucking embarrassing seeing these grown men go down pretending they've been shot.
The SWPL is where it's at.
No, I think it is embarrassing.
No, it is. I'll call it.
It's fucking borderline embarrassing.
No, it's not borderline. It is.
Aye, well, it is.
It's actually unforgivable.
Because, like I say, you actually don't get this in the women's sport.
I know.
Yeah, you see these grown men, the slightest bit of contact, and they're doing about 20 rolls, and it's like, you are fucking pathetic. Is it really worth being a pathetic, cheating bastard to try and win your team a free kick?
I know. No, this was way worse than the Shinny one. And the Shinny one was bad.
Yeah, so I mean...
But you know, Hibs, this happened in the 48th minute and they hung on, so good result for Hibs. Even though it didn't matter.
Yeah, they could have lost, they'd have still made the top 6. But then again, it's not all about getting into top 6. There's no point getting into top 6 if we finish 6th.
Exactly, it's all about those European places.
Well, I mean, maybe it's different for St Mirren and Partick Thistle for Livy, because they're thinking about the extra money. No, they're thinking about the extra money they can get for like the old firm games and stuff like that. But for Hibernian, they're not thinking about, we get an extra game at Ibrox. They're thinking about, we need to get in to the European spots for next season. So if Hibs finish 6th, it'll be it's a disaster. It's not, well, maybe not a disaster, but it's a failure of a season.
No, absolutely. It would have been.
No good getting into top 6 and finishing 6th.
I've actually completely forgot about my predictions for the season.
I had Hibernian 8th,
well,
so I was wrong.
The 2-0, right? The 2-0 is I put Rangers first and Celtic second, but
well, I think
I put Ross County 12th.
Two of the teams I had in the top 6 have been fighting a relegation battle last season. So
Dundee United, Kelly.
Aye, so I mean.
And talking of Kelly, they beat St Mirren 2-0, and in my opinion, I'd almost go as far as saying this was the shock of the weekend.
Packed out stadium though, it was nice to see. Paisley absolutely rocking.
More packed than Pittodrie.
Even Kilmarnock sold out their section, their allocation, 1,600. So, look, great to see in Kilmarnock getting their first away win in about
since they played Ayr in last April, I think.
Yeah, and their first away win in the Premier League in over, was it like 3 seasons or some shit like that? Crazy. Since 2020. So, yeah, massive win for Kilmarnock. And considering how bad Kilmarnock's, like, I know their away form's bad and their home form's good. I think all Kilmarnock really needed was one good away result, and that's probably going to be enough to keep them up, and I think this is it.
No, you're right, absolutely. No, I agree.
I mean, if Kilmarnock get 3 home games in the split, you'd expect them to probably pick up.
Now, if they get 4 away games,
well, have to get
it is all over.
But yeah, so Kilmarnock.
Ross County's down.
I wouldn't go that far. I think if you're going to make up points, the split's when you're going to do it.
Well, no, I mean, the way I look at it is, right.
Hold on. All it takes is Ross County to beat either Dundee United, Kilmarnock, or St Johnstone.
Aye, but listen, right.
And they're within 1 win away if they get.
They're not beating Dundee United,
Is it not?
Dundee United have turned a corner. Motherwell are good. They're not beating them. Livingston are shit. They could beat Livingston.
Right? Hold on. For you
Kelly at home.
No, wait. You're suggesting that Ross County over one game can't beat Dundee United or Motherwell?
Of course they can, but I'm just saying I don't think it's likely.
Well, no, you just said they can't.
Here, I didn't think Motherwell had a chance at Celtic Park and they got a fucking draw, so there you go.
You're making it as if there's more chance of Winston battering these Neds than fucking Ross County.
He batters the dog, doesn't he?
Aye,
well, the dog batters him. And talking of dogs getting battered, Aberdeen 2, Rangers 0.
Thoughts on the game?
It was a classic. Nah, Rangers are shite, man. I think Beale's did a good job, but I think you just looked at the results. A lot of the performances have been fucking shite and scraping the barrel. I think he's done well with what he's had, but let's be real. A result against a team that ain't called Celtic like this has been due.
Yeah.
I'd say he's actually been lucky. Maybe lucky's the wrong word, but Hibs have been fucking shite. Aberdeen have been shite.
Hearts have been shite.
Even when Hearts were alright this season, we're getting pumped.
Every time they turned up against Celtic or Rangers have been shite, apart from that one game against Celtic.
It doesn't surprise me that Rangers get beat against St Mirren at St Mirren, and I can guarantee, I think Rangers played St Mirren twice at Ibrox, so I wouldn't be surprised if Rangers lost in Paisley. This was due, and I'm not surprised, and you know what?
Well, it was coming, I think you could see it coming today. Rangers not really looking that convincing against teams. Aberdeen on a 6-game winning streak, looking really good. Aberdeen pretty much owe Rangers a victory, or a defeat even. And I seen this coming today.
Now the only thing is for Rangers, they've played twice at Celtic Park, they've played twice at Pittodrie, they've played twice at Tynecastle, and they've played twice at Easter Road.
Okay, so someone's going to get shafted with an extra away game then?
Yep, and I don't know who it's going to be, but it doesn't really matter, man. The league's done. Rangers, any momentum that they could have took going into the semi-final week, out the window, man. Celtic draw. The juggernaut stops. And what does Title 55 team do? Arse drops.
Right.
Arse drops, clean out the trousers, and a big dump. And then Arfield gets called up in the 73rd minute, and he gets told to sit down for 16 minutes. Anyway, right. That is it. It closed the weekend. It's not even a case of here.
That is it. Do we not get to look at the league table?
No, we are looking at the league table, right? But see, in terms of that game, it's not even a case of Rangers had nothing to play. You could have fucking stopped Aberdeen getting third. Aberdeen have got third. It would take a miraculous for them not to get third.
Hearts have already played twice at Pittodrie and twice at Easter Road, so they should get 2 home games against Aberdeen and Hibs. I think for Hearts, the thing is, I think Aberdeen have just shown that they can beat Rangers.
Yeah, can they beat them at Ibrox?
Why not? It's the fucking same pitch, isn't it? It's a fucking bit of glass.
It's the same pitch, mate.
I would see. I think for Hearts to get third place, I think they're probably going to need to pull off an upset against one of the Old Firm.
Yeah,
but I think the team in the top six most likely to pull off an upset is either Aberdeen or St Mirren. So I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Even if Hearts do beat Aberdeen, they're still going to be 2 points behind. The Hearts do have the goal difference in their favour, which I guess could come in handy. I mean, it's going to be tough, but I would probably rule out anyone below Hearts making third place. Hibs and St Mirren just ain't going to make up 9 points.
No.
Just not going to happen.
No.
Now, St Mirren, before the start this weekend, were probably thinking, here, we win, move on to 47. Rangers beat Aberdeen, they stay on 50. I think St Mirren would have been thinking we've got a good chance of third before this weekend.
A half a chance, yeah. And
but, you know, two bad results go against you. St Mirren lose to the team with their worst away record in the league, and then Aberdeen pull off, you know, an upset, albeit, you know, maybe some people seen it coming, but still an upset nonetheless. So, yeah, and I think that rules it St Mirren. But fifth place does get you a European spot as long as either Celtic or Rangers win the cup, which they should. So it just looks like a straight battle between Hibernian and St Mirren for that last European spot.
Like, obviously I want Rangers to win the cup, but Inverness or Falkirk winning it, man. That'd be mad. You're guaranteed European football for a championship team. That's insane.
And Inverness might even come up still, so we don't know.
What's it?
Inverness could be in the Premier League next season. Livy are in a situation where they know that had they won their game, they would have actually been sitting in fifth, not just getting into top six. They would have been in that European spot. I think Davy Martindale's thinking about it right now.
He's probably 3/4 deep into a bottle of Jack Daniels, so...
Because, like, see if Livy lost, but both Hibs and St Mirren won, I don't think he'd really... No, it doesn't really matter.
No.
But you think he's thinking about the fact that both of those teams got beaten? That if Livy had pulled out the win, they would have...
He probably is. You know, I think Livy have bottled it. They've been absolutely abysmal recently. It seems like Livy were on 39 points for about 4 months.
I know.
And they couldn't do anything. But there's a team that's on 27 points. And it's not looking good for them.
Right, so the bottom six, Livy, will they finish ahead of Motherwell? Got a 5-point gap. 5 points is a lot easier to make up in the bottom six than it is the top six.
Yeah.
Because of the quality of opposition. Although I do think, as good as the Motherwell's been, I do think Livy will do enough to get home in 7th place. I think if Livy finish lower than 7th, then Davy Martindale will be having a meltdown.
Yeah, well, he's not finishing any lower than 8th. I'll say
no, he's not finishing any lower than 8th, but I still think it'd be really poor if he finishes below Motherwell. St Johnstone, would you say St Johnstone are in a relegation battle? Yes or no?
Yes. Playoff? Aye, easy. Every day. I think they'll finish 11th.
Can they not finish 12th?
They can, but I think 6 points is it's a good gap to have.
I think Ross County are in a situation where they need to beat the teams that are directly above them. Draws ain't good enough. When Ross County play Killie United, they need to win. It's as simple as that. And the goal difference really isn't. The goal difference is close between all those teams.
Well, absolutely.
The goal difference could turn. Now, yeah, come on, it got the worst goal difference, but I mean, all it takes is, say Ross County beat St Johnstone, you know, maybe beat them 3-0. I mean, that's a 6 goal difference swing.
Exactly.
All of a sudden,
21-23.
You know, so even Killie, even though things aren't looking good for Killie now, if Killie pick up a decent win against, you know, one of the fellow teams that are struggling, they improve their goal difference by a decent amount, and that team loses their goal difference. So it's going to be close. It's going to be really close coming into the wire. I said St Johnstone would go down about a month ago. I'm still going to stick with St Johnstone.
Even if St Johnstone go to a playoff, I think they'll go down.
Do you?
I don't see them doing anything, honestly.
So, yeah, guys, there you go. That is pretty much it for the review show. We've reviewed the entire league. I think we said it at the start of the video, but if we didn't, we'll say it again. Celtic's won the league, so...
and sadly, we've got, a 2-week break to the league's return. Well, the Premiership.
Wait, could Celtic be the last team to wrap up the league in Scotland?
I think they will.
If Dundee win and Queen's Park lose the next game...
Because
they'll play
no matter what, Celtic will be. Because those games...
wait, well, are you saying the Championship will finish before Celtic...
Yeah, before playing the next game. Yeah. That's guaranteed.
Celtic are shite then, basically.
Celtic are shite, aye.
Oh, there you go.
Rangers kept it close. On that note, Beerlin. Woo!